Feng Gu was stunned, her eyes were full of pearls, but she didn't stop, and her double swords went straight to Xiaoxie. Yang Xiaoxiao evil Aunt Feng looked like this. Knowing the reason, she suddenly turned around and said, "Aunt Feng, I already know your secret, take me back." Ah! An exclamation. Feng Gu didn't expect the little evil to stop. The golden sword in her right hand had already pierced Xiaoxie's shoulder, and in a hurry, Feng Gu suddenly let go of the golden sword, and looked at the little evil in a panic, feeling damp and helpless. Xiaoxie smiled dumbly, picked up the golden sword and handed it back to Feng Gu and said with a smile, "I'm here, you can take it away." Feng Gu took the golden sword and hesitated for a long time before reaching out to point at his A-cup ointment. Xiaoxie chuckled, "I'm not afraid of acupoints, you still use it to tie it well." By this time, the other black turban killers had caught up. Feng Gu didn't dare to hesitate and shouted, "Captain of the first team, this has been captured, you tie him up and send 2 people to me." After saying that, she didn't look back and went straight down the mountain, but she could vaguely feel that she had shed tears and left in grief. The black scarf killers also followed the instructions, tied up the little evils, and dispersed. A chase, under the concession of the little evil and sorrowful people, has ended hastily. XXX. In Qianzhou City, the little evil is going and returning. In the backyard of the auspicious gambling house, Aunt Feng had returned to her living room, and she was concerned about the strange teenager. "It's okay, it's already scarred, and it will be fine in 2 days." Sighing, Aunt Feng untied the rope on Xiaoxie's body and said quietly, "I'm sorry for making you suffer so much." Xiaoxie stretched his muscles and smiled, "Get used to it. Now you can say it." The purpose of Xiaoxie being arrested was to understand what kind of organization Feng Gu and they were, and he also hoped to share some of Feng Gu's worries. Feng Gu looked directly at Xiaoxie with bright eyes, and strange expressions appeared on her face from time to time, sometimes frowning, sometimes sighing. It can be seen how complicated and painful her heart is. She is already deciding whether to tell Xiaoxie everything about it. The little evil statue is a mountain that can laugh and make people feel that he is enough to trust and rely on. He is looking at Feng Gu with the usual habitual smile. He is so sure that Feng Gu will definitely tell these secrets. Finally, Aunt Feng made her debut. "Do you really want to know?" "Of course." Slightly curling the corners of her clothes, looking at the window, Feng Gu sighed for a long time before saying, "Yang Xiaoxie, you guessed it right, I am a killer who can't help myself." Her eyes were full of tears, and her eyes were dazzling and pitiful. Xiaoxie knew that now was not the time to interject, and he listened quietly. Feng Gu continued, "I have a family and a father. The family lives in Kaifeng. My father is a martial arts person. My father and Niangjianghe people call male and female golden sword. My real name is Qin Feng Cha. 5 years ago a winter night came a group of masked people to rob my father, and in 2 days someone took a letter to me to obey his orders, and fed me poison. Just like that, I have become their killer. I don't even have a choice." As soon as she was reminded of the sad thing, she burst into tears. Xiaoxie was waiting for her painful mood to improve, and soon he asked, "You are working for them inexplicably?" "Yes." "You don't know what your organization is like?" Taking a deep breath, Feng Gu said, I only know that they are very powerful, and they have rudders in each place, but they are not connected to each other. The little evil said, can you make it clear? For example, what other masters do they have besides the helmsman? How do they control you? How do they give orders? And how do they prove their identities without knowing each other? Although Xiaoxie didn't understand the affairs of the rivers and lakes, he had heard the old man construct some trivial things about the gang, and he remembered a lot with his ingenuity, but now when he asked, it was not difficult to find that he remembered it in such detail. Feng Shi had a little evil guidance, and he would not feel at a loss, and he began to say, our organization is all black scarf masked, the helmsman is the altar master, the chief altar master, the protector, and then the black scarf messenger. The lower to the upper contact is to release carrier pigeons, and the upper face and the lower sometimes use carrier pigeons, but they all send more people, they have waste cards to say goodbye to their identities, and there are secret words and gestures. When necessary. Xiao Yi's interest came, and he hurriedly said, you talk about the secret words and gestures. Feng Gu looked around, and felt that there was no danger, so she whispered, represented by numbers, the black scarf messenger is 5, the Dharma protector is 4, the main altar master is 3, the altar master is 2, and the helmsman master is 1. She said as she spoke, the right finger is placed on the third knuckle of the little finger, and the tip of the little finger is on the first knuckle of the ring finger, which represents the helmsman. If the little finger is on the first knuckle of the middle finger, it represents the altar owner, and the thumb is on the third knuckle of the ring finger, and the tips of the little finger and the middle finger are on each other, which represents the general altar owner. If the tip of the index finger is on the top of each other, it is the protector of the Dharma. If the tip of the fourth finger is on the first knuckle of the finger, it is the messenger of the black scarf. The secret language is very simple, the difficulty is in the gesture. The gesture to them will ask the water of the yellow river from the sky. If it is me, I will answer the water of the yellow river from Lanzhou, so that they know that I am the helmsman of Lanzhou. Xiaoxie smiled and said, it's like acting. Feng Gu couldn't help but blush her cheeks when she thought that her fingers were a bit like acting, and she was extremely embarrassed. Xiaoxie chuckled twice and asked, Aunt Feng, do you know why those masked people are all disfigured? Feng Gu said, I don't know much about this, except for the captain, everyone else is disfigured and cut off. It seems that there is a place dedicated to training those killers. I don't know about this matter, my task is to pay attention to suspicious things or things in Lanzhou, I don't know anything else. Xiaoxie couldn't ask why he saw this, so he said, then why did you arrest me? Feng Gu said, a few days ago, for you, we lost 7 of our subordinates, I reported it. Yesterday the superiors have notified me to accept you for my own use, otherwise I will kill you. She smiled wryly, I thought you would stay in the casino, who knew that you would run faster than anyone else? It's strange, how do you know we're going to arrest you? Feng Gu looked at Xiaoxie with wide eyes. Xiaoxie smiled and said, I played this kind of thing when I was 8 years old, and you guys are still far away. He shrugged his shoulders proudly. At the age of 8, Xiaoxie was already able to make the old man dizzy, let alone now it can be said that the skills have arrived at home, and to play with him, you have to weigh yourself first. Feng Gu said indifferently, what are you going to do now? Will you really stay? She looked at Xiaoxie sadly. Xiaoxie, no, I still have to go. Feng Gu didn't speak, she knew that Xiaoxie was leaving, and no one could leave him. Xiaoxie said again, Aunt Feng, I won't embarrass you, you inform your superiors that my martial arts are very strong, and it is difficult to collect and use them, and ask your superiors to send someone down to lift me, and then I will escape from them. Won't you pass the test safely? This plan he had already thought of before he was caught. Maybe I can touch the general altar and rescue your father and wife. Feng Gu hurriedly said, this is not good. Saving my father and wife is another matter, I am afraid that you will not be able to escape in their hands, so what should I do? In this day and night of tossing, Feng Gu has long regarded Xiaoxie as a bosom friend, and she is unwilling to send Xiaoxie to the tiger's mouth. Xiaoxie smiled and said, Aunt Feng, don't worry, there is nothing else. I have several years of experience in the kung fu of escaping, and it is not so simple to catch me. I'm still a little worried, though. The little evil shouted, what are you not worried about? Finding a way to solve it is the right way. Now in addition to this method, can you find a better one? Aunt Feng pondered for a while and said, okay. I can't keep you, so I have to do this, then you have to commend for a few days. Little Evil said, no problem, I want to sleep on it for 3 days and 3 nights. Haha. When things are settled, he always laughs a few times to celebrate. Feng Gu has passed on the pigeon to report to her superiors. As soon as this matter is over, the little evil lives leisurely, very comfortable. In the past few days, Aunt Feng has also smiled. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, this is the 4th day. On this day, 3 big men have come to take the little evil away. Feng Gu stood at the door sadly, looking at the sky, sad, helplessly walked back to the boudoir, played the guhan, a song, and complained.